video, I'm going to give you 15 how to practice tips for fifth position. Hi, I'm Kaye. I work with dedicated adult violinists who want to develop impeccable technique and play with gorgeous tone. Be sure to master reading in first position before you start learning other positions. One of the biggest mistakes I see is violinists moving from first position to other positions when they don't even know their note names in first and only know numbers. This is going to make your position reading extremely difficult and a very frustrating process. It's a good idea to know third position before learning fifth position. Third position allows you to get familiar with how to physically feel when you're up higher on the instrument. So do learn third position before starting fifth. As we move up the violin, the string height gets higher from the fingerboard. So we need more finger strength to depress the string to the fingerboard. Keep in mind, we still want to have light fingers, not to be playing with tension. So you can even do a test, play in first with light fingers, move into third, again with light fingers, and then move into fifth. And explore how lightly you can play and still have good tone. The other thing you want to be aware of when we're working up higher on the instrument, the string levels change from what they were in first position. So when we're playing a string crossing in first position, and we take that up into fifth position, the string levels change. So be aware of that, and you can even practice your string crossings in the different positions, specifically in fifth position compared to first position, just to really get that feel of how that changes. To be careful that you're not hitting other strings as you're playing in fifth position. So as you can see, I'll play in fifth position on the D string here, in between the G and the A. And so when I play that B, the string is depressed lower than the G string and the A string. So you have to be careful not to hit those other strings since that changes. You can do a test. Play in fifth position, and then go back into first position, and you'll see how the string height changes as you move up the instrument. And then that way you can be really careful and aware of those string crossings, that you don't hit other strings as you're playing up higher on the instrument. You want to be able to know exactly where fifth position lives. So I always have my violinists do this for every single position. A great physical test is to take the hand away and land directly your first finger on fifth position. And I would also check your fourth finger as well, because we don't want to play with the one and have the hand flipped out. We do want to have that hand facing the fingerboard. Okay, so that brings us to the next tip. Remember to bring the left elbow under the instrument. Here I'm playing on the D string. If I'm going to be able to play in fifth position on the G string, we do need to bring that over, even under more. So check your ones and on every string, and then also your fours, so you can set up that hand frame in fifth position. Think your note names and visually see those notes on the staff in your mind. While you're working in fifth, you can always check in first for intonation to make sure that you're playing in tune in fifth. The great thing about fifth position is it reads exactly like first. So what that means is that B in first position is first finger on the A string, and in fifth position it's the first finger on the D string. Keep in mind, as you work up the instrument, the intervals get smaller. So here I'll play in first position, E to A, 1 to 4, If I go up into fifth position, E to A, the interval is quite a bit smaller. So you can see that right there. So this is the E to A in fifth. This is the E to A in first. So that's quite a big difference. Keep that in mind as you're working up the instrument, that the intervals continue to get smaller, smaller, and smaller. As in any position, we want to be able to play scales across the instrument within that specific position. So here in fifth position, you can play an E major scale, E minor scale. You can play an F major scale, F minor scale with an extended 4 on the E string. And if you're looking for a scale book to help you with fifth position scales that you can play across the instrument, I'll leave a link in the description below and here in the upper right hand corner for the scale books that I've written out specifically for fifth position. Studying fifth position, it's a good idea to study reading fifth position by playing etudes in fifth position, and I have also written a book, Master Fifth Position, which is really great to help you become super fluent in a very fun way. And I'll also leave a link for my Master Fifth Position book. It is 100% downloadable and you could get started right now if you desired. As we move up the instruments, in order to play with gorgeous tone, you do need to have your bow come closer to the bridge. So I'll play here in first position. You can see where my contact point is. Okay, so that's a comfortable contact point for first. If I take this up into fifth and to have a good tone, you can see how the bow is slightly closer to the bridge. We don't want to get too close to the bridge because it's not going to have a good sound. You do want to play with a beautiful combination of weight and speed and your contact point slightly closer to the bridge as we work in fifth position, especially on the G string. Enjoy practicing fifth position. Check out the books if you're looking for some more materials on studying fifth position or on playing scales within fifth position. Happy practicing. Ciao!